Yeah. All right, thank you. Got it. I only know Raju as a virtual person. I don't know where he exists in physically because we have not met yet, all right? And so he could be an AI, or could be a
An
hologram.
avatar.
Yeah, yeah, things like that. And as far as I know, Raju is now residing in Qatar, all right, which is halfway between us and Mexico. And Raju also has been a prominent Toastmaster, and I know you have held top position in Toastmasters, and he has been very active also in the public speaking aspect of Toastmasters, where he has taken part in all the different contests like public international speech contest, humorous speech contest, evaluation contest, and one other I cannot remember. Oh, table topic, which is kind of thing on your feet, kind of thing. So he has been a very active person, and ever since we have this online meeting, so we are able to gather people together in this platform. All right. So today he's going to share with us something which sounds very intriguing, and I've always been interested in it, but I've not had a chance to go and read it. It's called design thinking. No, I was thinking, what the hell is design thinking? So, Raju, I pass on to you. So, can you take care of us, our education for now? Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank
please
you.
give a round of applause for Raju.
Thank you, Dunstan. Really humbled receiving such introduction from your side. And now, before I start this presentation, I don't say I'm an expert in anything or something like that. This is going to be an interactive session. I hate to listen to my own voice. I want to listen your voices too. So I'll try to make it as interactive as possible. And like, how many of you did ever hear about the 2% theory?
Huh?
2% theory.
2%.
2% theory is, it's very simple. Only 2% are successful in their life in making difference to lives of others. And if you want to be in that 2%, design thinking is a stepping stone for that. And design thinking is something which is now, if any company or an organization face a problem, they're not able to solve it. They pass it on to the design thinkers to come and help them out from this situation. So here are some ground rules for today's presentation. Rule number 1, please, I want to see your beautiful faces. Rule number 2, when you're asked to interact, please give your 100% participation because this course is for you. The more you interact, the more benefits you get from it. Third, when I ask something, don't give a 5 to 7 minute speech. Just keep it short because you'll be eating away from my time of what I want to present. Rule number 4, keep your smile going. Rule number 5, get ready to have some fun. So what can you expect from this session? I will be teasing you. I will be provoking you. I will be asking you to do some examples because I want to make it now. If you want to learn about design thinking by reading books, forget about it. It's never going to happen. This is going to be a practical approach. And even if you gain about 30% of what I say today, apply it in your regular life, it's going to make a significant difference to your own performance. Take it from me. This will be an eye opener for all of you. Now, I remember a quote which was said by Steve Margolin. He said, life is simple. It's not easy. I repeat, life is simple. It's not easy. Today, after this course, you will be saying, life is simple and it's easy. Okay? So let's now here, this is applicable for everyone. You might be retired, you might be somewhere doing something else, but still, it's not necessary that you should be working in an organization to apply these principles. This is a tool which you can do to make difference in the lives of others. Okay, I'm going to share my presentation. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
You can see
Yes.
a blue screen.
It's blank.
Just the
Red
beginning.
Blank.
Blue
Okay,
and
that's the way it's supposed to be. Just a second, just a second. Sorry, just
I think so. I got my kick.
I think I need a help of a design thinker to solve my problem.
What is your problem?
I'm not able to share my screen. Just a
No, are
second.
you going to share a PowerPoint or whatever video?
Yes.
Open it first in your computer.
Yeah, I've opened it.
Yeah, it should be at the bottom, and then it's not open yet. You
Okay,
run the screen, run the
I will
slides.
close it.
Yeah, then
Yeah,
open
I'll
it, and there
close
is
it.
the icon for you to run the slides. So it becomes
Yeah. Just a second.
Banpeng, can you help?
if you send me the slide, I can try to open it in my computer for you.
Can you see it now?
No,
We
it's a
all see a
blue
screen.
No,
Is that the first
it's
page
blue
of
screen.
your? Is it the first page of your?
Yeah,
PowerPoint?
it's a blue screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Now you
Blue
click
screen, you go to
the.
the second screen.
Yeah.
Go to the there you are.
Can,
Yeah.
can you see it?
Yes.
What is
Now,
design thinking? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you
So
just
what is
click on-
design thinking?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
open.
yeah, so design thinking is basically design. It has come from Latin, design and thinking, which actually means you have to ponder about it and you have to think about it and what are the touch points and you take action. So basically design thinking is two parts, design and thinking. And it's about action and mindset. So it is two parts. One is action and second is mindset. Before we proceed ahead, I have a small questionnaire for you. You can just see how many S's or how many no's you have, because let's see what competences each one of you has to ensure that are you a design thinker or not. Okay. The first one is just count the number of S's and no's. There are various questions. I can step into the shoes of the customer, yes or no. Okay. Count the number of S's and no's you have. Have empathy on users and stakeholders. Okay.
Yes.
Ben Peng, it's a secret. Don't leak the answers to others.
Oh.
Okay. I would like to change the status quo rebelliously. That means, if suppose Banpeng is my boss, he tells me something, I will say, no, I don't agree with it because this is another way of doing it. That's what rebelliously means. Ability to ask the right questions, yes or no, even to my boss, yes or no. There are two S's and no's over here. Like to collaborate in multidisciplinary meetings instead of working in silos. Look at the big picture holistically. Generate new ideas and not afraid to share. Find and reiterate alternative approach your desired goals. So now, those of you who have more than eight S's, please raise your hand. Fantastic.
Can you see
Fantastic.
us?
Yeah, I can see you. I
Okay,
can see
okay.
you. Yeah, fantastic. So those of you who have raised your hands, excellent. You have the mindset of a design thinker. You are already on the first step of the ladder. Now, those of you who got less than 8, it's time to sharpen your skills to be a design thinker. Willing to fail early and often. Okay, this is the last one. Okay. Now, there are certain, to be a design thinker, each one of us need to have some inbuilt traits. So for that, what is the mindset we need to have, what we need to cultivate, what we need to follow, and what we need to avoid. So this is something to be seen. Now, the first mindset is think. First mindset is think. Now, to think, what do we need to cultivate? What do we need to cultivate? We need to understand and put the users above everything. That is what we need to cultivate to have the right thinking process. So what do you need? What are the traits to follow? Can someone tell me? Come on, take a guess.
Empathy.
Empathy, okay,
Listening.
right. So have empathy on the users. Fantastic, Rihanna. Have empathy on the users and stakeholders. So this is what the trait which we need to possess. What are the traits to avoid?
Not listening.
Not listening, okay. No, but thinking, we are talking about thinking. So listening doesn't come, right? You're thinking about something.
Yeah. Do in
Think you know the,
isolation.
you think you know the best.
Negative
Think,
thinking should avoid.
yeah, but basically if you think that you know everything, then it is extremely difficult to have the right thinking process. If you have an open mind, then life becomes very easy. Now I have a question. I will just stop my screen sharing. I have a question for all of you. Generally, we have some bias, right, in our mind. We are conditioned, based on upbringing and all that. There are 4 different types of bias. So can someone tell me what are the bias which we encounter?
Preconceived biases, you mean?
Yeah, preconceived bias, yes.
Positive bias.
Raju, it could be prejudice, preferences, perceptions, prejudice.
Okay, prejudice, perception. Okay, anyone else? Come on, Dunstan.
I'm trying
Halo
to think.
effect, self-pride. Anyone?
Ego.
Yeah, but ego means you think that you know the best, right? Okay. Ego bias. Yeah, it's not okay. Ego and okay, ego is self-esteem or something where you think yourself something big. But bias, there are 4 types of bias. The first one is called the anchoring bias.
The what?
Anchoring bias. Anchoring bias is something which once you think about something, one idea comes and that's it. You get stuck to it. You cannot think beyond that. The second one is expertise bias. Like I will say, I'm a chartered accountant. I know everything about finance. Dunstan, you don't tell me about anything. Like this happens, right? Each one is a professional in your own field. You think that you know everything. But I will give you some live examples where an office boy gives an advice which is much better to the senior managers, which they never thought about. So this could happen. The other one is contrast and compare. Contrast and compare, which means when an incident happened, you automatically start to think about some incident which happened in the past and start correlating with that with this. This is contrast and compare. The fourth one is autonomicity bias, which means without your knowledge, it comes from your subconscious mind. That is autonomicity bias. So we should try to avoid this.
What is the
Sorry?
word atomicity?
Yeah.
Bias.
Raju, you'll have to spell it out for the benefit of everybody in the room.
Yeah, it's called autonomicity bias.
AUTO.
Yeah, AUTO, autonomicity bias. Okay, so but these are some things, which just keep it behind your mind whenever you're thinking about something, ensure that these bias are taken away. You don't get influenced by them. The next one is, what is the next type of mindset which you're talking about? Ask. So what happens is you should ask questions to uncover the issues. You need to ask questions to uncover the various issues which are buried deep. What are the traits to follow? Can someone help me out in this?
Curiosity.
Questioning, like asking
Ex-
questions.
Yeah, excellent. You challenge the status quo. Don't take because Rihanna told me I'm doing this. No. Ask your questions, that validity of it. Is it correct? Is it the right way to do it? And what are the traits to avoid? Follow the management decision and red tape. Because if you keep doing the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? So this is what we need to avoid. The next one is express. So how do you express? Can someone tell me? You
Show,
thought about it? Yeah, how do you show?
demonstrate, illustrate,
Yeah, how do you illustrate in a more effective way?
model.
Like Dunstan is a master storyteller. Okay, so he has to express in a way with his strengths of storytelling, right? So ask yourself, what is my strength? What is my strength? And suppose Martin is an artist, right? So he will draw pictures to illustrate to the audience how he wants to express it. Yeah. And then what are the traits to avoid? Collaborate and express as per your strength. And what are the things to be avoided? Worry or be conscious of the people criticism. Forget about people. You play to your strengths. That's extremely important. The next one is feel. So explore to solve in most innovative ways. Now, if I want to impress upon you, the knowledgeable audience, I have to give you an opportunity to understand what I'm saying and trying to be innovative. Now so how am I trying to do it? By making it interactive, by ensuring that you're with me through the journey. So always try innovative ways. Every time you give a speech, try some innovative thing which the audience don't expect, and then you make them feel. And then think holistically at generating new ideas, right? And then share with everyone and stop with one idea or solution. Don't think this is the best. Now, for example, whenever I prepare a speech, at least I contact 10 people, because mind is a funny thing, right? It gets stuck to something, think this is the best one. But no, when you talk to different people, you get different ideas, and you don't get stuck to a single idea. Act. The final one is act, create tangible for prototyping and testing, willing to fail early and launch a solution only after perfection. Now, what I'm going to do is, can I have a show of hands? How many of you have experience in dealing with customers? Okay, excellent. Excellent. Now, who is your customer? Dunstan, what will be your reaction if I tell you that your wife is your customer? As much as you are your customer for your wife.
Most likely I get a box in my ear if I say that you're my customers. My
So I
wife
think
is
my
my boss.
answer would be anyone and anyone and anybody can be your customer. There's no rule.
Excellent. That's exactly the point I want to drive. That
Everyone.
anyone,
Yeah.
yes, everyone is your customer other than yourself.
Mm.
I want that to be deeply in your brain, in your regular day-to-day affairs. Think of everyone as your customer. Now, how would you ensure? Now, if I ask someone, they say, we will exceed our customers' expectations. But does he actually know about the customer expectations? No, right? Okay. Now, how do you know the customer expectations?
By asking them.
Okay. Next, any other ideas?
Benchmarking against whatever they want to do, probably like, let's say they want to develop a website, then you compare with other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me tell you something. Rihanna, you're right. You ask questions to ensure that you get the answers from your customer. But what if I tell you, when you ask questions, you get only 5% of the answers? Only 5% of the answers you will get. And 95% you will know only about the explicit needs, not about the implicit needs. So that's why it's extremely important that you know inside out of your customer, which means what are his dreams, what are his hopes, what are his feelings, what are our emotions. It's not what he's saying, but you need to go beyond that. Now, later, we will talk about personas and we will talk about what sort of questions you ask to know about this. So it's extremely important. It's extremely important. Now, let me share with you a practical experience. You know, when I was doing chartered accountancy, like we'd have an article 3 years articles trainingship, and then the first audit I've done, it was a big manufacturing for a car company. And then when the audit manager was reviewing the file, he asked me, what do they do? I said, why is he asking me that question? He said, what do they do? How do they do? Why do they do? Of course, I had answers for two, but the third one, I didn't have an answer. So it's very important that you need to know both the explicit and the implicit needs of the customer. Now, this also applies when you're preparing the speech. It's not just peripherals. You have to know your audience so that because your speech is for the audience. So it's extremely important. Okay, next, we talk about empathize. Okay, now these are certain ground rules to be observed. We will see the practicality of it in the later when we do some examples. How do you empathize with the customer? Any answers?
By understanding his pain points.
Great.
Raju, for example, you hear an answer, you can always paraphrase so that the client understands that you're actually listening to that to him or her.
Yeah, but Nancy, this is a point which I will come to it at a later stage. Now, here we are talking about empathizing. How do I empathize with Nancy? You are sitting in India, I'm in Qatar. How do I empathize with you? What are the steps I need to follow to empathize with you?
To be in your shoes.
Sorry?
To be in your shoes. To think like you, what you need.
Exactly. But how do you do it? See, if I want to know Martin who's sitting in Spain, how do I do? What do I do? First, I need to meet him, right? It could be virtual, it could be physical, but I need to meet to empathize. Sitting over here in the office, I cannot say Martin is like this. Martin, no, I cannot do that. I need to meet you. And what do? I ask questions to you to empathize with you, right? And I will have to listen carefully to whatever you say. If I don't listen, I can never empathize with you. I should have an open mind. Remember the 4 buys, what we have? That should not be there when you try to empathize with someone. And the 4th one, this is called the Japanese philosophy. Manage by walking around, which means that I cannot sit here in glass chambers and then talk about something which is going on out there across the road. I need to actually see it. And there's a saying, right? When you try to empathize, you should not be a cow like grazing the grass. You should be like a horse plucking from the roots. Get to the root bottom. So you have to actually be around to, to understand, to empathize with them in detail. The next one is observe. Let us say that there is a problem. Okay. You are observing it. What do you observe? There's a problem. You're observing it. It could be overtly or covertly without them knowing or not knowing. You observe. What do you observe?
Observe
You're
a
muted.
sequence of events.
Facial expression, their body language. Is that what you're asking?
No, like there is a problem. Dunstan says, Rihanna, I have a problem. So you go there to his workplace or wherever it is, and what do you observe? Martin, I want to wake you up from your sleep.
What I observe is the perspective of the client, because the client could tell you one thing, the opposite of that person is going to say other things. So what I am observing is only what the person is telling me or watching from that client.
Yeah, but again, if he is seeing something, he can solve it. Why will he call Martin?
Because he
Okay.
needs other person to take him out from the blind spots. For example, I can think
Okay.
only this, other person is going to say, oh, you are going to solve it this way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So here, when you observe something, there are some things to be, what to be seen is there any confusion? Is there any confusion which is going around, right? And the next one is someone is overexerting themselves to do something. Someone is overexcited, over exertion, or taking undue pressure. This is what, and as someone said, I think Rihanna said, the pain points. Pain points, you will have to observe what are the pain points which is there. And can someone tell me what is appropriation?
Borrowed.
Appropriation means using the things not for the purpose which it is meant to be. Like I'll give you an example. In the factory, what they do is that they keep tools for, as paperweights or something like that. That is appropriation, not using the thing for the purpose it is meant to be. And the next one is skipping the steps. If so, for example, there's 1 to 5, 4 is very hard for me, I will move to the 5th step. So these are the things to be observed. Observed when you, as a design thinker, when you go for any situation, these are the things you need to see to find the real problem. Now, visualization. How do you do visualization?
Sorry, Raju. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was just going to backtrack a bit on the questions. To what extent, you see, like for example, the 5 things you're talking about earlier on, right? Is the you see what you observe and all these things could be just your perception, isn't it?
No, but again,
Yeah, your
here,
perception. So you see somebody doing something, it is your own. Maybe all of us are limited in our knowledge, all right? So all those 5 points there is your perception of what they're doing. Is there? How do we know that our perception, all right, what we observe, which
okay, okay,
is spot on? Is there a way we can handle that?
yeah.
You see,
Now,
like for example, you
Dunstan,
see
yeah,
somebody is being very focused. Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
I
yeah.
exactly
Get some
understand
idea first.
where you're coming from. I understand.
Mm.
Now, let me tell you, these are not something written in rock. This is like factors to be considered. If there's a problem, they call Dunstan as a design thinker. These are the things which you would actually be looking at to form a perception. You should not have a perception before you go observe. When you're observing, you need to have a blank mind. So these are the guidelines which you take into account to form a perception. Am I clear?
Yeah, it's still colored by your own perceptions. What I'm saying is you will recognize our own limitation, all right? So we are using our perception of something, and how are we sure that we are right? You see, is there any
No,
method we can do that?
no, but the thing is, you don't form a perception. See, if there's a problem, as a design thinker, you go to observe. You don't form a perception at all. You are blank. Your mind is completely blank. And then you study these, you observe carefully without any preconceived notions. And perception is something which will come. See, the very reason why you have design thinking is to remove the perception. Whatever findings you're going to have is based on collaborative effort, which you'll come to know at the later stages.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, but when it was presented that way, for example, you put the word confusion there, right? Now you look at it and it says confusion, but maybe if you that's why there is a secondary third steps in there that you have to be just now. I think earlier on somebody talked about I have to walk a mile in somebody's shoes, all right? So you see people
Yeah.
running around like chicken without heads, but that is because you are not there. But you form observation based on what you think is confusion, which may not be confusion. So I'm just asking, how do we?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the
Okay.
steps?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, these are only like broad guidelines. These are not specific guidelines. These are broad guidelines which you keep it behind your mind and you don't form a perception at all. See, the problem is that if it is I will give you some practical examples where design thinkers have come up with solutions which people never thought about it. Then you will understand this point of observe. When you're observing something, you do it, you see that these are the various things, what is being followed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I can see. I was just asking for something a bit more. Yeah. All right. I got that 5 points there. I've written it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
visualization. How do you do visualization? Okay, in visualization, the most important thing is keep it simple. Keep it simple and break the problem into components. This is also known as chunking. Chunking, where you actually break down the whole thing into several small components and you think in metaphors, and so that this is something which it's easier for the audience to perceive or understand your viewpoint. And use pictures, tell stories. Okay, so we have seen observe, we have seen empathy, we have seen visualization. Now, let's go to the next one, which is called the preparatory cycle. It's called the preparatory cycle. So there's a problem. People come to you as a design thinker. You need to start off with a preparatory cycle. The first one is you try to understand what the issue is really. Once you do it, you observe and you analyze. We already spoke about it, right, earlier. And then visualize. Visualize how you want to present it to the customer and evaluate and optimize. So this for you is a preparatory cycle. Now, suppose if I asked you to draw a picture highlighting the importance of social distancing during COVID time. If I have to ask you to draw a picture, why social distancing is so important. So I would do something like this. This is the place where Lancy comes from. You know, this is a local train and lots of people are here. All you need to do is stand in the front of the crowd, you'll be pushed into the train. And for getting down also, it's the same thing. So, you know, a picture says more than 1,000 words. A picture says more than 1,000 words. So this is just to illustrate how we need to do it. Now, for the what is the mindset required? You remember in design and thinking, I said mindset is also very important. To have a right mindset for design thinking. Remember, it is all people-centric. People-centric is extremely, extremely important. I might have brilliant ideas, but if I cannot connect with you, the audience, it goes flat. You know what Steve Jobs did when they first introduced Apple? He said, you can move the world with your finger. And that is where the touch. Now, why am I seeing these lines on the screen? I don't know. The red
No,
lines.
you press
I-
some you press the marker, you know, there's a
Yeah, I
marker
think that
button. You just
How do I remove it?
you tap it again.
you see that there
You
is a
tap
little
it on
pen
you click
on the
your
right
mouse
hand
on it
side.
again.
Look for
No.
erase. There's an erase.
Erase.
Yeah.
Anyway, forget
It
it. It
doesn't
doesn't
bother
matter.
us. No, I thought
Okay.
it's part of your design thinking. That's why.
No.
And what you can do is to share only one screen because you have both, one of your computer and the other one that we are watching here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Forget it. Okay. So that might be due to wrong clicking. Okay. Now, people-centric is extremely important. You might have a technical presentation, but if you don't connect with the people on an individual basis, it's not going to work. The second one is cross-disciplinary and collaborative. Now, remember, if I have to succeed, I cannot do it on my own. I need the support of all of you to succeed. So it's very important that you collaborate with people from different disciplines. Like Dunstan was talking about perception. So collaborate with different people and then you go for, no, because you get different perception, different ideas. That's very important to have a cross-disciplinary and collaborative. Now you need to have a holistic and integrative approach. Look at they say the eagle's view, right? Eagle's view of the problem is extremely important. The next one is growth mindset. Can someone tell me what's a growth mindset?
There are many things.
Yeah, tell me one simple thing.
You believe that a growth mindset means your talents are not inborn. You can develop them.
Okay. Okay.
Another
Anyone
one
else? No, only one per person.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Personal development.
Do something
Sorry?
new, something more.
Something,
betul, Bu.
okay. Okay.
Promotion.
Can hear.
Okay.
Tomorrow is
Okay.
better, can be better than today.
Yeah. Excellent. But if a layman comes to you and says, please tell me what is a growth mindset? How do I develop a growth mindset? What will your response be? Okay, the simple definition in my terms is not being afraid to fail, not being fear of failure. That is a growth mindset. If you don't have it, you are bound to have a better tomorrow, a better. So never being afraid to fail is something, and communication skills. Communication skills is something which I don't need to elaborate much on because it's extremely important. Now, I remember a famous saying, one person said, don't believe what you hear and believe only 50% of what you see. So, and communication skills are extremely important. How you communicate to various people, that's the next one is comfort with ambiguity. If I ask you, how many of you know what you're going to do tomorrow? I'm sure everyone will raise your hand. If I ask you, how many will do it in 1 month's time? Some people will raise their hand. What if I ask you, do you know what you're going to do in a 5 years time period? How many of you, will raise your hand? Because, like we are not comfortable with ambiguous situations. Situation looks scary. So we are afraid to plan. But a design thinker is quite comfortable with any ambiguous situation he comes across. So they know how to plan for the future and how to be comfortable with that. So this is extremely important mindset for a design thinker. Now, okay, this is the action plan. As I've spoken below, think, ask, express, feel, and act. So this is the action plan, which we have already spoken earlier, and I will not talk about it right now. So these are the things you need to consider when you have an action plan. Okay, I will not go through this slide. Users' inherent needs. This is something you need to take into account when you, because everyone likes praise, everyone likes love, everyone likes security, being liked, popular, all that, right? So when you're dealing with customers, you need to ensure that you address them, keeping these points in view. Okay. Now, this is a most important slide. Design thinking phases. There are 5 different stages of design thinking. The first one is empathize phase. We spoke about empathize, right? Here, you need to know about the personas. How many of you know what a persona means?
No, don't know. Can you explain?
Okay. Persona means that if I want to know, Dunstan is my customer, I need to know what his behavioral patterns are, how he thinks about things. Like, you are my customer, so I need to know everything inside outside of you to ensure that your needs can be catered to. So that's called a persona. Now, it could be for a group of people. For example, if I'm addressing Toastmasters, I would address in a one particular way. If I have to address Agora speakers, I will address them in one particular way, because there is some persona which is created for these group of people. So personas is an extremely important thing. And create an empathy map. Now, what is empathy map? How we do it? I will make you guys do it. Empathy map. Okay. And then you take the user feedback. And this is the most important thing. You have to clearly define the problem. In the first stage, in the empathize, you have to say the problem statement. What is the problem we want to address? There has to be a clarity in that. The second one is the define phase. Now here you make a design brief. Design brief is like a blueprint which you actually make, and then you prepare a context map, an opportunity map, and a customer journey. Now we will be doing an case study. I will make you people map a customer journey from start to finish. I will make you guys do it. Yeah. Now, number 3 is ideate phase. Ideate phase is, as it indicates, it is actually a brainstorming session which you do as a group to ensure that all the ideas are, are conceptualized. Various ideas are taken to account. That there are different ways of doing it, and you prepare an affinity map evaluation. Now, the fourth one is prototype. So you have a design, you define the problem in the first stage. You have a context map, customer journey, the defined phase. Then you ideate. You generate various ideas, and then you build a prototype. Prototype model of, it could be physical, it could be wireframes, broad guidelines or storyboards, different types to create a brief about the problem. And then you have the testing phase where you take a user feedback, you have ethnography, evaluation, and iteration. Now, anyone know what ethnography means?
No.
Okay. Ethnography means it is actually taking into account the culture, the cultural background of the people, the customs, traditions. Like if I'm working with a diverse culture, and I study how they react, how they behave, how that is called ethnography. So these are very important. In the test phase, you check all that and you do the iteration. Okay. The next one is your customer. Now we spoke about customer expectations, right? What do you know about your customer? These are some things which we always need to take into account. What they think about you. Even before you think about them, you need to ask yourself this question: what do they think about you? That's very important. What do they expect of you? What is their expectations? What makes them feel good about buying from you and not from someone else? How do they buy? What is the buying pattern? And why they buy? Why they buy? Now, let me give you an example. In one of my previous companies, when I was taking care of the supply chain, we actually had our people sitting at the customer site doing their planning. It's called the reverse supply chain. So actually, why they buy, that is something we are a step ahead of their needs. So these are important things, what they do, who they are. So this is something about the customer. Now, you remember in Ask, we said that you need to ask questions. What are the different questions which are required to be asked? There's an opening question, navigating, examining, experimenting, and closing. So these are the various questions we will have to ask the customer before we define the problem. Now, I would like you to help me out with the opening questions. What would be your opening questions? What would be your opening questions when you meet a customer to know his problem?
What is the problem?
Fantastic. Fantastic. What is the problem? Yes. Anything else?
Raju, probably I would establish a sort of thing that I'm not only in for business. All right. Maybe ask him, how are you? Find out If it's anything related to a product that involves a family, I would ask him, how's the family? All right.
Yeah.
So that he understands that it's not only just business and business.
Yeah. 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 That's also the way. But again, Lancy, over here in design thinking, you want to know insight into the customer's real problem, right? And let me share a hilarious story. You know, when I was in Saudi working over there, we had a new sales manager. So I was assisting him, orienting him into the process. And we go and meet a customer. And he was asking, how is your grandmother? How is your wife? How is this? How is that? I was shocked. What is this guy asking about? But that is the culture. The culture over there is that you talk about all the things before you come to the real problem. So there is gravity in what Lancy says, that you socialize, you break the ice with the customer. Now, this is after doing that. After doing that, what are the opening questions? The first one, as Ben Peng said, what is the problem you are trying to solve? You need to ask that, right? What are we looking at? You need to know what are you looking at, right? And then what kinds of things what is the scope of our whole exercise? And what are the problem areas? So these are the opening questions which we need to ask the customer, because now I don't participate in meetings where I don't, if there's no value addition. So I spend some time before every meeting to ensure that I know exactly what the things, so then I can ask them the right questions. So it's very important that we need to have, these are something for the open questions. Now, navigating questions. Are we aligned on this? Are we on the right track? It's very important to ascertain, is this useful? Do I understand you correctly? Does anyone have any questions? So as a group, these are the things which is important with the customer, to always ensure that even if necessary, if you don't understand something, because if the problem itself is not correctly defined, then you will end up in a wrong place. So it's extremely important that time is spent toward this exercise. Now, there are several examining questions like, can you give me an example? How does it work? These are some things which is under the examination questions. Now, experimenting questions. Do you have a plan B? Yeah. What if it did? What else could we use this for? What is missing over here? How can we handle if you're operating, if it's for a layman? And what if we are wrong? So these are the things which are the various experimenting questions which you need to ask yourself. Now, there are some very important is the closing questions. How can we prioritize these ideas? What are the action steps? Who's going to do what? And what other skill sets are required? So this is important. These are the closing. So these is just to, give you a broad guideline. Next time you are doing, know your customer. These are the questions you need to prepare on these guidelines. Now, the next very important step is discover. In discover, you would like to know about the customer insights. Okay, you ask them various questions. You know what are the customer's insights. Then what happens? You have an understanding of the customer. Do your background work to understand the customer inside out. And then you have a data collection and data synthesis. You do the number crunching and things like that, and translate this into customer insights. Now, did you notice something? In the discover process, you start with the customer insight and you end with the customer insight. So it's extremely important that to ensure that you are aligned with them. Okay. Now, there are various maps which I spoke about, right? Empathy map, opportunity map, context map, and customer journey. Now, because of the paucity of time, I want you to do an exercise. First, we will talk about an empathy map. And we will do a case study in customer journey where I would like all of you to do it together. Okay. Now, empathy map goes something like this. Under empathy map, it's very easy. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you think and feel? Okay. And then what do they say and do? So these are the things which you need to do. And then you talk about two different things, which is pain. What are the pain points? And how can I transfer it into a gain? Simple. How do you see? What do you hear? How do the customer thinks and feel? And what does he say and do? And what are the pain points? And transfer to a gain point. Now, I would like all of you to, I'm going to show you a picture. I would like all of you to have a brainstorming session for about 10 minutes. I want you to draw an empathy map for this. Okay.
Sorry,
So-
Raju, can I ask a question before we do that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That empathy map we have here, you have think, hear, say, do, see. Are you referring to us or to the customers? Who says who?
This is for the customers, but that's what I'm going to show you a picture now. And I would like you to, this is for the customers, but now what I'm going to do, I'm going
What
to
do
show
they
you a
hear, I mean?
picture. Yeah, like what do you see? What do you
I see
hear?
or they see?
What do you see?
No.
What do you see and hear? And what do they think and feel? What do they say? You as a
that is
design thinker, need to draw an empathy map for a customer.
So what I hear and what I see, what they think and what they feel, is that what you're saying?
And what they say and do.
So
Yes,
there are two
exactly.
persona, two sets of people talking. One is
Exactly.
yeah. So because the map is like that, so I was trying to see who's feeling, who's thinking, and who's hearing,
Yeah.
who's seeing. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got that.
No, perfect. Yeah, go ahead, Rihanna.
No, I think what he's asking is, are we supposed to write what we are observing of the customer, or are we supposed to get from the customer the information and fit it into this map?
Okay, now the ones on the right and left
Hmm.
is what do you
Which one?
see and what do you hear?
That's
Okay.
we, right?
Okay, right.
Yes, exactly.
We,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Top
the
and
top
bottom?
and down is what is the customer thinking and feeling,
okay.
and what
That's
does he saying and doing?
Right.
That's what I'm
And-
asking. You see,
Right.
because you put it
Exactly.
like this, we do not know who's thinking, who's
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, in Middle East we do everything in the reverse order.
No. It's just that it is not explained.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understand.
You're saying that
understand.
what we see, what we observe, then what do they see and what do they say? Right. Okay. I
Yes,
understand.
yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
how do you transfer the pain to
Yeah.
gain? Okay.
Yes.
Now,
Okay.
what I will do is I will show you a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see the picture over there? Okay.
Actually,
There
Raju,
is-
we can see the next slide.
Yeah.
So
Can
we
you
actually can
remove
see
that?
we can
Just
see the
concentrate on the
yeah.
first slide.
Don't
Yeah.
put. I think you are putting. What view is that you are putting?
The guide on your PowerPoint, you should go
Yeah.
to the screen. Yeah, screen could be.
Hide presenter view. You have to hide.
Yeah.
No. Go just now where you went. The three dots.
Here.
No. You went to
Three
the,
dots.
There,
Okay.
at the bottom there. Go down to the
Okay.
bottom. The three
Yeah.
dots. Click
and
that.
then you click that. Click that. Okay. Then you hide presenter view.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh,
Now we see you.
now
Okay.
no.
No. Share
Okay. Then
screen.
I think you got to share
Okay.
screen again.
You
Yeah,
open
yeah,
your
no issue.
PowerPoint and write. Type the at the bottom. There is a little
Can
screen.
you see
no,
my
This is
screen?
better. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
this is a
see.
bit better. Yeah.
But we can see
Okay.
also the side points also. You got to go to presenter view. Wait. I
Okay,
think
can you see the picture now?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Now it's
This is
okay.
the
what you
best.
need.
Now it's okay.
Now it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me explain to you this picture. It's actually a school. Adjacent to the school, you have a small shop where they're selling various chips and things like that. And they're also selling like cigarettes and tobacco products and all that. Okay. Now, I would like all of you to, I will give you about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I would like all of you to have a discussion about how you will draw the empathy map for this.
We don't know what
Clear?
problem.
Yes.
We need to talk
No,
about.
because, okay, I will repeat one thing. There is a school, okay? This is actually what you see here is a school. And adjacent to the school, they have a small shop where they're selling all the chips, tobacco products, and all that. Right? So you want to draw an empathy map for this.
Who has the problem? The vendor or the school children or the
You want
head
to write to the school management. You want to write to the school management an empathy map. Like you as a design thinker, right? Remember the empathy map I said, what do you see? What do you see? What do you hear? What do they say and do? And how do you transfer the pain to a gain? Okay,
But
guys?
do we must have a position like a consumer or a student or a father or from the
Yeah,
school
you
or
are a
what?
parent. You are the parent.
Oh.
As a parent, you would have to write to the school. Yeah. So I will stop sharing my screen. Okay, your time starts now. Okay, everyone unmute yourself and have a discussion of how you will draw the empathy map.
I think our child must eat healthy food, not junk food. We must suggest to the vendor to sell healthy food.
Yes, I think it's good to have students easy access to vendor, and the vendor must sell the things that is what the student require, maybe books as well as stationery supplies, for example. So we want the vendor to be there. We want the vendor to play a supportive role to the student. So instead of a small little corner, we should have a big room in the school for the vendor. That's what I think and feel.
Okay, I think they're selling cigarettes, which is not good for the students. It's a bad example. So they should not be selling all that. Cigarettes for their school children, they will be influenced. So that is not a good thing to do. So that is one of the pain points, I would say.
Yeah, the shop attracts the public, but we don't want a lot of public to be near the school because it's a risk to the children as well. So we want the school the shop to be inside the school compound. Then
also magazines, those magazines may not be appropriate for children, the magazines they are selling, because it could be adult magazines or things like that.
Yeah, we can have a win-win situation now with the shop selling those stuff is not good for the school, it's good for the children, and then also may not be good for the vendor as well. Right. So we want a win-win both for the vendor and for the school. And also the shop can be used as a training ground to teach the student how to do business. so they can intern in the shop as well.
Mm. And I also see that they are blocking the door of a gate of the school. So I think that's not a very appropriate place to put their stuff, because the kids need to go out. They could be rushed. There could be a hazard. It could also be a fire hazard for the if they block the gate, so the kids cannot come out. That could be a problem as well, fire hazard.
Are we trying to answer the question? What is the problem?
We are trying to come up with the, I guess we are trying to
First, you
see
have to
what.
state what is the problem, because you see
We
the picture,
define the
then you
problem
guys,
ourselves
yeah.
Yes,
as a
we have to
parent. Now
define.
you're the
What
parent,
is the
right?
problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, the
You guys are actually talking about solutions and problems already, right? But what is the problem? Yeah. So is that our task?
Yeah,
What is
we
the
are
problem?
here to design this whole
design a
map.
solution.
Yeah, no, first we
Yeah,
have to
before you design
identify.
solution, you got to know what's the problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Is
why we
there a
need
problem?
to.
Yeah,
No,
the
we.
problem is the
Oh,
shop is there. We don't want
okay,
the shop to be there.
yeah, you make one point and then a few more,
Then
isn't
we
it?
don't want the
Because-
shop to be selling that particular range of products. We don't
Okay,
want
that's the
people,
problem.
public to be crowding around the school gate,
Mm,
Okay.
right? Because obstruct traffic coming in, difficult for school children. School children may be kidnapped or robbed while there are a lot of adults nearby,
mm,
right? And then the children may want to buy stuff, but it's not convenient. They're not selling the stuff that the student want. So there's a lot of problem.
mm.
And the headmaster is sleeping. He doesn't know what is happening. So change the headmaster as well.
Anybody else can help us? You guys?
You see the
Okay. Now 5 minutes are up. Did you observe something? Did you observe something? I gave you 5 minutes. Now, all of you started discussing, speaking out enthusiastically ideas. But did you think that how, as a group, was someone maintaining the time? Were you ensuring that, like Indy is very silent, Martin is silent, Tim is silent? Did you ensure that you provoke them into participating in the discussion? And Dunstan, as a good old wise man, he is actually thinking, what you guys are speaking before he speaks. And he came up with a question which you guys had no answer, right? So now the thing is, it's very important. Let me give you an example of Einstein. Einstein, if he has to think about something, if he has to do something, 95% of the time he does thinking, and 5% is spent towards action. So it's very important that whatever we do it in a structured way. Okay. Now let's look at the empathy map. What did you see?
Crowding. What did we see?
What did you see in the
picture?
Yeah, what did you see in the picture? Yeah.
It's blocking the way, blocking the gate.
You see the
Yeah.
school gate.
Yeah.
You see the school gate. What you saw was that there is a shop beside the school gate selling tobacco products.
Correct.
Okay. What did you hear? You heard that some people were smoking outside. Right?
Right.
And what did you think and feel? What are the or parents thinking and feeling? If someone else do it, even my son also could do it. Right? And what do they say and do? Like they're saying that, okay, because someone else is doing, even my son also, or my children also will do that. Right? And the pain point is selling of junk food, selling of tobacco products, right? And what you need to write to the school authorities is saying that we don't want this shop to sell chips. Someone said, let us have some healthy snacks. So if children are hungry, they can go and buy it over there, right?
Mm.
So see, it's so simple, empathy map, right?
What's wrong with you
So
guys?
no, Benfeng, unfortunately, they're blaming the gang leader who's you.
This is terrible.
Okay?
Okay, give them
No,
one more
like,
try. Give them one more try.
yeah, okay. Now, what I will do is that I will, now what I'm going to do is, now here, I'm going to give you
Oh my goodness.
15 minutes time. 15 minutes time I'm going to give to you. You have to map the customer journey. You have to map the customer journey right from the time. This is actually a coffee shop. Okay. This is actually a coffee shop. Right from the time the customer enters the coffee shop to the time he goes out. Yeah. So I want all of you to participate actively in the discussion to find out what are the key touch points where the customer's experience can be enhanced. Okay. So I will repeat myself. Here you have a picture of a coffee shop, and your job as a design thinker is to plot the customer's journey from the time he enters the shop to the time he goes to the counter, to the time he waits in the queue, to the time he sits and enjoys his coffee, and the time he goes out. So I want you to map the customer journey. Is it clear?
Using the empathy map again.
Not empathy map is finished. Forget about empathy map. Here, I'm not going to repeat the same thing. Ben Peng, life is not easy. Okay, so I would like you to map the customer, like I want you to everyone to be actively involved in participation. I'll give you 15 minutes time. 15 minutes time. I want you to, because this exercise is when you do it, you will understand the benefits of it. What are the key touch points where you can enhance the customer's experience? That is your objective. Okay. Is it clear?
Clear. I think this time we let Martin start. Martin.
See, but please involve everyone.
Yeah, I
Take
keep
the
time.
ideas. No. I'm keeping the time, not you.
I'll
I
be the
want you to
coordinator.
participate.
Okay.
I want you to participate actively. Your
Okay.
time starts now.
Martin,
Tim, I want you to participate.
Okay, I see a successful coffee shop, plenty of customers, and I think that we must make it more successful. It has a lot of people, but now we want more clients and also to share some profit to the community, maybe to the city council or other places, just to share what they are earning.
Okay.
Other people is going to
I
say.
think
Just 1 second. I would like you to name a group leader, someone who is going to present to the entire group, someone who is going to explain the thing. Name a group leader, someone keep a record of time, and I want everyone to be involved. You have 15 minutes time to map the customer journey, find the key points and what could be done to enhance his experience. Guys, the
Manpeng.
floor is yours.
No, Martin, you spoke for 30 seconds just now, but you didn't map the customer experience, how to improve it. Shall we serve tequila with tortilla or something?
Yeah, we must think in all kind of clients, Mexican, even from Singapore, from India, from Malaysia. That's going to depend of the majority of the clients. And according to their needs, we are going to sell what they want.
Okay.
Okay, but before that, we need to map the whole journey. Then we can think about the improvement that we want to make at each point in the shop. I think that's what the exercise is about, if I'm not mistaken. So we have to map. So first thing would be, I think I'm just giving an example. You guys can add in. So first thing would be walking into the shop. That would be the first step. Next probably would be, I don't know, choose the food. So I think,
Okay, sorry.
yeah. Then
Sorry,
after
Raina.
after we,
Raina, can I just cut in here?
yes,
I
Dunstan.
think our first thing is that we're trying to appoint a group leader.
I
That's
think
all.
someone's
Can we-
appointed
can we-
you.
Can
Someone's
we
appointed you
nominated?
already.
Can we nominate Raina as the group leader because she
Okay,
already has a holistic view,
Rihanna,
right? Rina, okay, good. Now you lead us. You guide
Okay.
us.
Okay, so now we have to map the journey first before we can look at each point of that journey, and then we can decide what are the problems or what are the solutions or what are the improvements we can make at each of these points. I think, are we clear on that? Everyone okay?
Okay.
with, yeah. Okay, so first step, can I say, is walking into the shop?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be the first step. Who wants to give me the next step?
No, before he walk into the shop from the outside, he must experience the excitement already that then he want to walk in.
No, I think we just go the main points first, because if we are going to do the introspect of each place, then we are never going to finish with the journey. Let's do the journey first. What would be the first thing? Like, go and buy the food, go into the shop, find a place to sit. Would that be correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Or,
you got
or
it.
yeah. Okay, so I think
Yeah.
we can move from there. Who wants to give me the next one?
No, when he walk in, he must smell the food very nice, very enticing, right? He must hear he must hear laughter and music.
No,
or
I think Banping, that would be the second step.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. I think
Okay,
you're,
okay.
yeah. No, you've got
Can-
all the points, Banping. It's very good.
Can we
but
get somebody to write that down?
Okay,
Rihanna
Because you
will write,
already second step already. What's the first step?
I'm writing.
Walk
First step
in the
was walk
door.
in the
Okay,
shop.
leader can write first step. Then you have second step. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Second step would be find a place to sit, I would say.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
you guys are free to open your mouth and share. It doesn't have to be me.
Yeah.
Okay, Tim say something.
Yes, Steve. She says she doesn't want to go into the shop.
Sorry, I want to say something if possible.
Yes.
Yes.
The first step actually starts before they walk into the shop.
Okay.
Yeah,
There must
okay.
be a trigger point. Either they were thirsty or they saw an ad or they saw something that triggered them to come
Okay.
into the shop as opposed to any other shop, for example.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah,
Good.
good one. I like
Yes.
Okay.
that. Mr. Liu, say something.
He cannot hear you because he has the earphone on.
Say something.
he's
Okay, so now he's entered the shop. What is the next step? Let's go.
Can we have the? How do I see the picture?
Look,
I
he
don't
must
know.
he must see the place. He must see whether there's table or not, or he must see where is the counter. He must see maybe something that attract him, that they have this wonderful food that he like, for example. So he must see something when he walk in. If I don't like the smell or the sound or the food or things like that, I will walk out. So he must see something that keeps him want to go in, take another step further inside.
No, but he's already coming into the shop because he wants to drink and eat something. So he's in the shop now. No, see, now I think we are missing the point. I mean,
Do we have? Sorry, I don't have the picture. Do you have the picture?
the picture of the thing
Oh,
field
the
that.
scene.
No, he
screen,
want. There's no picture. This is a new
Right.
exercise. We
No,
have
no,
to find the
screen
customer
is now. Wait, is what do you see on your screen?
or the picture of the coffee shop, isn't it?
Yeah. Do
No,
you
so
see that?
he. Yeah, no, we don't see that anymore. He's taken it off.
Oh, okay.
He
okay,
just
okay.
wants us to come up with. No, I think I will reiterate again. We are
Okay.
supposed to. We haven't even gone past into the shop and completed the journey. So
I
can,
forgotten.
okay,
I
maybe I
forgotten
can
the
just
picture.
help it. We are running out of time. So
No, I forgotten the picture. I only see your faces.
no, we don't need the picture.
Now it's back.
No, the picture comes in second part. Again, I'm saying the first part is map the journey. The map the journey is go into the shop, pick the food, find a place to sit, sit down, eat the food, or go to the counter. That is the journey we have to map out.
Oh,
See each point, what is
Wow.
the thing we can improve at each point.
oh, okay,
Understand?
okay, okay, okay.
Correct.
Does that
Correct.
make sense? I mean, that's
Okay,
my
okay.
understanding, but I
Yeah.
think that's what he wants us to do.
Great
Okay.
job, Rehana. Good
Yeah.
leader.
So let's
Good
map
job.
out
Good
this
leader.
journey. Then each point we can say, okay, he's going in the shop. So like Indy said, he must have attraction to go into that shop. That's the improvement we need to make.
Okay.
So let's go to the first step. Can we all agree on what is the first step? Walk into the shop.
Yes.
Number 2, find a place to sit.
Correct.
Okay, anybody is free to interrupt and add in if there's something I'm missing. Number 3, choose the food.
Yes.
Or number 3 would be
Can we
queue.
get somebody else to give suggestion?
Yes, because
Now,
nobody
Raini has already given us kind of a path, right?
right.
Can you
Yes.
just throw in your ideas?
Yes, please.
Angelina, Adri, and
Okay, we have
who else?
Maya, Anne
Jenny, all these
Marie.
people. Yeah, because
Oh.
the task, we haven't set out the task very clearly just now. The task is how do we map the experience of, how does the experience of the customer can be enhanced? That was the mission statement actually, you know. What we're supposed to do is to how do we, then you talk about all the different steps, which is correct. Can we hear somebody else say
Okay.
something?
I think
So
we
we're
should
going
add,
as far as going in already, isn't it?
yeah,
Correct.
we should air condition the coffee shop.
Okay.
Then
That's
we
your
have a
solution, is it?
very gorgeous waitress
Okay.
welcoming the guests.
How about anybody else? Angelina? Ita?
Ita, say something.
Angelina, you saying something?
Yeah, no,
Huh?
thank you. I just want to be listener. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's very safe.
No, Ita, can I ask you a question? If you are a customer in that shop, what would you?
First, the place, of course, because from the place we know that the management will be safe or healthy, safe, and clean. That's the most
Okay.
important for me. The taste is number 2. Because the place it makes me comfort to visit that store, and then I will be feel safe to drink that a cup of coffee.
Okay. Right now, you
Yeah,
got that?
Sorry, somebody's copying or I'm writing? Anybody's writing
You're
down
writing.
this? I'm the one writing, okay.
You're doing everything. Anybody else want to throw in? This is
Yes.
talking about how do we enhance the experience. That's it. So Aita has said quite clearly, you want it to be safe, you want it to be comfortable. Ban Peng said we want some acorn, right? Yeah, something like that. You know, some that enhance the experience, isn't it? I think that's what it is. Anything else?
Dr. Anne Marie, say something.
Anne Marie, she's
Yeah.
muted. Can you unmute yourself, Anne? Go on, Malif. Just say something.
Yes.
How can
Okay.
yeah, go on.
Hello. Yeah, the question was like, what will be the first time that I'm staring at when I enter a coffee shop, right?
Go on. Yeah.
First of yeah, the first thing that I will pay attention to is the price. From the price, I will consider the rest of it. Like if the price is too expensive, and I will pay attention to the place. If the place is very good, then I will say, oh yeah, the price is normal. It's normal because the place is very luxury and very good, comfortable. So yeah, that is why they put expensive price.
Thank you.
Yeah, but if the price is so expensive, but the place is so standard, I will just leave the place like, oh, okay, I don't like it.
Okay.
Like it's just not normal. But if and then after that, I will taste the taste, of course. Yeah, I think that's the first thing that I will pay
Okay.
attention to, the price. So the price is the most important when I enter any shops.
Okay. Anybody
Yes,
else?
thank
Smoking area and no smoking area.
Sorry?
No smoking.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You want no smoking. All right. Right now, you're taking it down?
Yep.
Yeah. Anybody else? Adri, have anything to say?
They should
on.
have a senior citizens corner.
I think okay, thank you, Ben Peng. I think the first yeah, that one reason that enticing me to visit the restaurant or the cafe, who are the visitor that already been there. If I notice
Okay.
some cute guys there, so I will enter to that place.
You're
Yeah, I
talking about the
think we-
company, yeah? The
Yeah, I
company.
think we would
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. If
Okay,
you're
so
in there, I will go in.
okay, how much time do we have, Raju?
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Quick, quick,
Yeah,
quick.
and
Let's
we
get
haven't even
somebody.
completed the journey.
Never mind, never mind. Anne-Marie, anything to say? Suni?
Jenny,
Jenny?
say something, Jenny.
Okay, okay, so we've covered the first part. Let's move on to the second part. Okay, finding a place to sit. I think that is very important. So we must, how do we enhance the customer service, customer seating arrangement so that there's not crowding, people can find the seats easy. So that is something we have to think about. Can we think about that?
Redesign the floor plan.
So maybe we can have proper aisles so that people can move in and out of the tables. Would that help? Aisles?
Yeah, instead of one long bench like the school
Right.
canteen, they can have smaller table sitting 2 or 3 people.
Right. So grouping, yeah, that would be good. Okay. That would be for the finding a place to sit. Do you think maybe, Tim, do you have anything to say on that?
Tim doesn't want to rock the boat.
Rocket, man.
I think Tim want them to serve beer and brandy.
I think you're having issue with your mic, is it, Tim? Is that the thing? Okay, understood. Okay, yeah. So maybe you can just nod your head when we say something. Angelina or Martin. What would you
Martin.
say, Martin?
Where's Martin? He's in Mexico.
Martin want tortilla, tequila.
Oh yeah, I say that according to the consumers, we are going to know what we are going to sell. But
Yes.
first, we saw a successful business. As a successful business, we are going to make it bigger with more profits even and more clients.
He's talking about the customer's experience. How do you
Yes.
enhance the experience?
Right.
Have
So
more
right now,
waitresses. Hire more waitresses.
now we moved on to the second
Who
part
said that?
about the
Martin, what
place.
did he say?
Oh,
do you enhance
how
the
to enhance
experience?
the experience
Profits.
for me is not to wait a lot because it's full.
Okay.
Yes.
We must
Well,
look for how to reduce time, how to have
Yes.
other spaces.
Now we
Service,
are moving.
service. All right.
Yes, I think Martin, you hit the
Okay.
nail. Reduce time, waiting time, finding a place time. Yes, that is a very, very important part of customer experience because people don't like to wait. They want to get their food and sit.
15 minutes are over.
Yeah.
15 minutes are over. I will give an additional 1 minute for the leader to have his presentation ready.
Okay. 1 minute. Okay, so maybe quickly we can come to the payment part. Any improvements on that? Anybody can improve on that?
You're supposed to sum up now.
Yeah, I know. I got to sum up, but I haven't completed the
Never
customer.
mind. You
journey.
just
you
sum up.
only
No
have one-
time.
we
No
have
time.
finished just at 1 minute.
You must keep within the time.
Okay. Time 18.
Actually, I've written down 10 points which is being thrown by all of us.
Okay, you wanna just quickly run that so I
Can I
see
run
what I'm
through
missing?
somebody I agree, all right?
Okay.
This is, I don't know who said what, but I can see that somebody talked about safety, a safe place, all right?
Okay, got it.
Okay, number one. The second is comfort.
Got it,
all
got
right?
it.
The third one was quite specific, one aircon. Right?
Got it?
The next one is about the price.
Got
right?
it?
Then we have to taste the quality of the food, right?
Okay.
And then somebody want a no smoking, so the
Got it?
smoking, yeah.
Okay.
Then the company, the customer's company, you go in there, you don't want, and then the sittings, right? Space, sitting arrangement, things like that. Then somebody talk about drinks. I think it's a theme about what kind of drink, right? And lastly, the last one I pick up is the service. Isn't it talking about service, right? So those are
Right.
the 10 ones which I've written down, but I don't
Got
know,
it.
you may have some more. Yeah.
Yeah, I have some other inputs. I will add that when I do my presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dunstan is a very strict person. If I exceed my time, he is going to massacre me. So I have to respect the audience time. And okay, go ahead. Whoever is the team leader, present the case.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay, so I think you okay. How many minutes for this?
Your
And-
time, 5
okay.
minutes.
Okay, so first of all, I think in this whole journey, we need to map out. I think that was the task, to map out the. Do I tell all the task was to map out the journey, customer journey to this place, and I think we spend a little bit excess time trying to figure out other
Go
things.
to the point. Go to the point.
We wasted a lot of time arguing and not deciding and discussing the thing that was supposed to be discussed. So
Go to the point.
we didn't identify the problem, first of all. Okay. So the customer. Do you want me to go through the map itself, right? Is that what you are trying to say, Raju?
No.
Customer journey.
Yes. Okay.
What
so
are the
that's-
touch points?
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
according to all of us, first is walking into the shop. That's number one. Second one would be finding a place to sit. Third one would be finding, choosing the food or getting to the food or ordering the food. Fourth one would be either queuing for the food or either they need to queue for the food or it is served to them. And the fifth one is the payment, the last one, payment. Where are they going to pay? How are they going to pay? And the last one would be exiting the shop. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 points of the customer journey that as they enter this this establishment. So at the first walking into the shop, so I think the first touch point is walking into the shop. So it has to be enticing. It has to be attractive to the customer. So probably a nice signboard and probably some nice design or some foods that are shown onto the maybe on the pillars of the place, so that it looks attractive. People can see the menu and they know, oh yes, I would like to eat that today, or it will entice them to eat. So I think that is one of the main things, how to attract them to the shop. That is the first first point. Second is to make it easy for them to enter the shop. So if it looks very crowded, or if it looks very messy, or if it looks unhygienic, people will not enter this shop. So it has to be clean. It has to project an image of hygiene. The taste all will come later, because first people want to see whether it's clean. Otherwise, they're not going to enter this shop at all.
Yeah.
Right? So that has to be very, very clearly established. And if it looks messy and dirty, nobody's going to enter it. So that is the thing that we have to improve on. Third thing is, because it's along the roadside, so there would be dust and traffic and all that going in. So I think they have to find a way either to put glass and then aircon the place. I think one of the things was to aircon the place, because it can get hot outside, and people would be more enticed also to come into the shop if it is aircon, and find it comfortable. Maybe take a drink. Even if it's for a drink, it's like they can come in, they want to come in, because it's hot and dirty and dusty outside. So that has to be also improved. And then getting into the shop is they have to make a passageway properly, because when I noticed, it was very crowded. there is no, like they probably have to squeeze in from one side of the tables to get into the shop. So probably another suggestion was to make groups of tables rather than like those school tables, like desks, long desks. So if there's passageway all around, people can go from different sides of the
Yeah.
shop. Yeah, and it would make it easier for them to enter and maneuver into the shop, so-called, right? And that would be the second thing, getting into the shop. Now, choosing the food. So the food has to be displayed in a way that is attractive, that is also shows hygiene, and probably the people behind the counter would probably be wearing gloves, or how they want. Either they want to have a system where food is served, but I think this is a small coffee shop, so probably maybe people have to buy their food and bring it to the table themselves. So in that sense, people would have to queue to get the food, and if they have to queue, it can be frustrating, so maybe they can have two counters, or they can have one counter that takes the order and then another counter that serves the order. So that way they can improve on that area, so that there's two segregated lines and there's not much queuing. So people queuing for the food, they order and then they go somewhere else to collect it, or somebody could bring it to their table. It could be that way. So that has to be enhanced as well. Again, display of the food has to be in a manner that people can see the different food when they are picking it, and it's easy for them to take. Okay, then moving on, we would be finding a place to sit. So it can be very crowded. According to what I saw, it's very, very crowded inside and it's quite squeezy. So I was asking Martin, and actually I was asking Martin, but I was hoping you would give this answer, but maybe I can just suggest it, that they can extend the shop outside, or have like a al fresco kind of dining, if it's not too dusty or something, and then they can offer two experience to the customer, those that want aircon and those that want to sit in the fresh air, so called, and maybe have a shelter for them to sit in case it rains, so they can also eat outside and they can also eat inside. So that could be a way to yeah, to expand the place. If they're not going to buy another unit, probably that would be a better idea, to expand the place. They could get in more customers, as Martin was saying, to improve the sales of that shop. We can do that to have more customers coming in, instead of saying, oh, this is crowded, let's go to another place. Oh no, they have an outside sitting area as well, so we can use that. That would be
excellent. Okay, thank you, Rihanna. Okay. Now, any one of you have any points to add to what Rihanna said? She forgot about she forgot about the beautiful girls. She forgot about the liquor. She forgot about like.
No, she forgot halal food as well. So
halal food as well. Yes. Okay, fantastic. I think a big round of applause. I think you guys have done a great, wonderful exercise. Now, what I will do is Dunstan is already putting a gun at my head. Yes. You have 10 minutes. You better finish it. Otherwise, so I cannot manage to mess around with him. Okay. So what I will do is I will not go through, I think you have done it, but this is the whole purpose of this exercise, is to ensure that you know how to do it. Yeah. So now we are mapping the customer journey. Okay. The activity, what happens? I'm quickly running through it. He enters, he has a seat, he buys coffee, waits for coffee, go back to the seat. This is the activity. Now, what does he does? He looks at the surroundings, he walks around the coffee, at the queue, he waits at the counter and seats at the table, right? What are the touch points? The entrance, which you've already covered, about the posters and all that. About the space, which you have already covered. And price display is extremely important. When you're entering a restaurant, first thing you see is the prices which are displayed over there, and the counter and the availability of the seat. Then what are the thoughts? What comes to the customer when he's entering into a thing? Am I entering the right place? Can I find a seat? How much is it? I think someone mentioned, how long do I have to wait? and what will be the aha moment for me, right? And then these are the feelings. I will come back to that later. Now, what is the value added service I'm giving as against another coffee shop which is just adjacent to me? Okay. And then what is the availability status? Now, multiple payment facilities, waiting time, making it more interesting, like probably people like badminton. So you have a live, badminton match being displayed or something to make it interesting, the waiting time, and explore what other reinforcements you can do. So what we do is, if you map the customer experience, it could be something like this. They had a problem in finding the seat, and okay, not much in this thing, but they have to wait a long time to get their coffee, but the quality of food was excellent. So that is which made the customers come back to the thing. Yeah. So this is like an example. What I would like all of you to do is think. Do the same activity when you map a customer's journey. If you're reviewing the performance of the company, don't look at minuscule things. Look at what are the key revenue drivers, top 3 revenue drivers, what are the 3 cost drivers. You understand everything about the company. So this is the principle I would like you to keep in mind. But thank you very much. It was a wonderful exercise. Now, there are some other slides, but I'll stop over here. And I'm going to talk about some practical examples. There was once in Helsinki, I think, Helsinki, Norway, right? Where they had a public pool, public swimming pool and all that, huge one. And people suddenly stopped coming. The government started getting anxious. Why is this happening? Why are people not coming? They couldn't find a solution. So they hired a design thinker. What the design thinker did, they looked at the problem and they gave solution in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, they gave the solution. The solution was, there was a public transport which was coming in the afternoon time, getting people, and that public transport has been stopped. That's why people were not coming. So sometimes the moral is that the solution lies in unusual places. When you map the customer journey, you find the right solution. There's another example I'll give you. Once, all of you heard about this toothpaste, right? Colgate toothpaste. So the managing director said, I want the sales to increase by 20%. So people were breaking their heads. How can we, in such a tight competition situation, how can we do it? How can we do it? They were brainstorming, they were ideating, they were doing various things. They couldn't find a solution. Then the office boy said, why are you guys breaking? While you were serving coffee, he said, why are you breaking your head? Just increase the nozzle by a little 20%, you will get the consumption. There it is. Their sales gone up by 20%. Yeah, because every time you squeeze, the output will be more and the sales increase. So solutions lie, unless you go deep into the problem, then you will find the real solution. So what I want to say is that all these principles, take it, apply in your day-to-day life. Apply in your day-to-day life, and design thinking is a way of life. Don't look at it as rules or something like that. Even when you give your speech, ask yourself, am I connecting with the audience? Do they feel the same emotions that I feel when I'm delivering the speech? So these are important things. And what is the value addition I'm giving to the audience as a result of my speech? So these are very important things to be noted in design thinking. So always, and if you see, I've noticed in the group discussion that we had that some people said, oh, I just want to listen. Do you want to be led by someone else? Why don't you take the lead? And I thought Indy was trying to raise his hand and Ita was raised her hand up. No one, everyone ignored her. If that is the case, make noise and ensure that your voice is heard. And I really admire the Dunstan and Rihanna who have taken up the initiative and tried to get everyone into the loop, which is quite commendable. And this is what we need to do. Working with people is not easy. Working with people, getting everyone, taking them into confidence is extremely important. So, ladies and gentlemen, you might be a superstar, you might be a superman, but you cannot do miracles without the support of others. So last time when I did this session, one participant asked me the question, how can I make my wife happy? Tell me the secret of making my wife happy. I told him that is still a secret for me. Other than that, all the problems in life can be solved by design thinking. We just have 2 minutes, a Q&A. If any one of you has a questions on design thinking, you can ask me from today's session. Please, if you don't ask, that means you didn't understand what I said.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Rihanna.
Okay, so the thing is that I think the first thing that is in design thinking as a group is establishing the problem itself. So sometimes, like in our case, we had a issue because everybody's understanding of the problem of what was the task supposed to be was different, and I think we wasted a lot of time trying to figure that one out. So how do we get get the people to, or get the team members to agree on what exactly is the task that they need to do? So I think that,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah, understand. Now, remember the first step I said in design thinking, it is the problem, define the problem. Now, if I was participating in this group discussion when people are discussing, first of all, what I would do is I would say, let us do in a structured way. Ben Peng is the timer. Dunstan is the leader. Okay. And assign the roles even before you start the exercise. Now, when we start the exercise, as a leader, I would say that, okay, what is the problem? What is the problem which we need to solve? Define it, write it down. Now, someone can put it on a computer also. There are many ways to do it. And then ask people for feedback. Now, if you see the exercise you have done, you are asking feedback, but for what? Yeah. So defining, now everyone came up with a reply as they see it, but not focused towards the common problem of the team. Yeah. So does that answer your question, Rihanna?
Not really. I think our case was, no, our case
No,
was,
but if
yeah.
you define the problem, if I was you, I would put it on a computer, share my screen and say, okay, this is the problem we have.
Okay.
Now,
Yes.
let's concentrate our efforts towards that. Then
Right.
there's a focused direction to our discussion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
I think our problem is we got a leader who doesn't know how to lead us.
No, it's okay. I think maybe we. Can I just say something? Firstly,
Okay.
to thank Raju. I think this is a very, very enlightening experience. The only point I want to raise is that it really we're covering too much in this short time, and each one of them actually is a learning point which we can dwell on. Ideally, this could have been run on different sessions, let's say maybe 4 sessions, concentrating on one. Back to the question which is still standing out very clearly in our last thing, which Raju has repeated. Firstly, is the problem statement, because just now when you look at the tuck shop outside the school, people start saying this. I said, what's the problem? So they define that the problem statement we have to deal with first. Then, as Raju said, then we can focus. Okay? And I pick up a bit more than all these things because I've read through it as well and we can spend, we can break it up into a few sessions because a lot of the things are too fast for us. It's fantastic thing, but we didn't have time. We didn't have time, right? And anyway, thank you very much. And
So Dunstan, this is
yes.
only just to know about design thinking.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
if you guys are interested, sometime later we can have
Yeah.
a session where we
Yeah.
do case studies.
Yeah.
We do case studies and then, like get moving.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
That'd be great. It's
Wonderful
very good
audience.
practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we
Thank
take
you
a
very-
picture?
Before you go,
Banpeng, take a picture.
Yeah, wait. Before you go, I have a few requests, administrative requests. Number one, there are 14 of us here, all right?
Right.
And can you do me a favor? Can you all email to, not email, WhatsApp me so that I can make you into one group? Because at the moment I'm broadcasting into a lot of groups. And these are the people who come up, right? So we can form the core group. So if you WhatsApp me, I think you all have my phone number, right? And WhatsApp me, then I put you in a list of 14 now. So you be the first one I notify. All right, that's number one. All right, please do it. All right.
No,
The
you
second
tell them
thing-
your phone number right now. They can write it down.
Yeah. Okay. Can I tell you the phone number now? Can you write down 016? Of course, it's Malaysia is +6 +6 016 888 6040. Get it? +6 016 888 6040. All right. And that's number one or second. Okay. The next thing, who's going to share in the next session? Anything you want to share?
Indeed, can do. Indeed, tell us, introduce yourself. Tell us what you can share.
No, I think we do it about 3 weeks or 4 weeks from now. Depends on who is ready to share. All right. I want to schedule it like regularly on a Thursday. All right. Because Raju said that Friday he is not busy, not free, isn't it? On a Thursday, if who can share? Tin, you going to share something? No.
Indeed,
We need to help each other. Yeah. Because others end up me and Raju will be the one who's talking. So I don't want to run an academy of whatever it is. I want us to share. All right.
So it's
Anybody?
based on a book, is it? We have to find a book.
Anything. But our original idea is start from, I started this a few years ago where people keep on saying that this is very good book, this is very good book, this is very good book. I say, yeah, go and read it. But a lot say, wow, it's too thick. You cannot. So if somebody can break through that by key points. For example, today I saw a posting about the Warren Buffett way or method, right? The Buffett method is a book. Somebody says, "Oh, this must be a good book." Yeah, I know, but I don't think I can plow through a 300-page book. If somebody have gone through it and analyze and extract the key points and share with us, it is easier for us. That is the idea of this particular exercise. So anybody want to share the book which you love, which you find that very influential in your life, and share us with that?
I just
sure
did
you guys
one. I did one Dunstan on emotional intelligence. If you like,
Okay.
I can share that as well.
Yeah, that'll be good. Is that Daniel Goleman?
Yeah, Daniel
Daniel Goldman.
Yeah, that's good. Can you do that? We'll
Yeah,
schedule
I
for
can
that.
do
So
that.
you,
2 hours, right?
yeah, you can.
No issue.
Yeah. Well, our session is 2 hours, but
Okay, I can do it
try
1.5
to, like
hours.
the way
No issue.
Raju did, so it gives enough time for us to, you do
Okay.
your presentation, then Q&A, discussion, and all these things, right? Things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that okay, Banpeng? Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. So the next session will be 2 weeks from now. Is that okay?
Okay, wait. Let
Banpeng?
me see what's happening today is 16, right? 2 weeks from now.
Anyway, 2 weeks from now, I will get that right there. All right.
Okay, it's about.
So first, you must send you contact me through the WhatsApp so that I put you in a group.
Okay,
Right.
sure.
Then I will design a poster for Banpeng session. Once we get the date, then I will broadcast it. But first, you guys are the one whom I use as a core group.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that-
Thank
that's
you.
all I
Thanks,
have to say.
everyone.
All right. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Raju.
Nice meeting
Uh,
everyone.
Thank you, Raju.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
Any
Thank you,
closing
Raju.
remarks?
Frankly speaking, I don't know how 2 hours are finished. You know,
Sorry.
it
Did we
just
take
went
a
like this.
did we take a picture? One pic?
Yes,
No.
I sent it
One
to
thing is
now.
start the
Dansan.
recording.
Do it now. Do it now.
Oh, one
Yeah,
last
come.
thing. One last thing. Hello,
Okay.
before I forget, Raju, can you share your slides? Is that okay?
No, I think
No.
slides
Okay.
is
Intellectual
Okay.
I
property.
think it's a
Typing.
copyrights.
Okay.
Okay,
Fair
okay.
enough.
Now,
Yeah. All right.
everybody, thumbs up for the photo. 1, 2,
Jenny and
3.
Sonny is not in, right?
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Smile. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, got it. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Good
Bye-bye.
night,
Nice meeting
everyone.
you
Good
guys.
night.
Bye.
Right. Thanks, Raju.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Justin.